Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Kel.
And we are going to give you our review / recap of Stage 3, Week 4, the first 2 days of the week, Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday didn't really have that much going on. I mean, we had Boston taking care of business against Shanghai, who actually looked really good against Boston, but it's just a matter of Boston's a way better team.
Yeah.
The Houston Outlaws kind of took it to the Valiant.
Yeah, they kind of mashed them.
That was kind of weird, though. I mean, that was kind of
it was a really weird match.
It was not what I was expecting. I don't think really many people were.
No.
And my guys took care of the dumpster fire that Dallas is.
One of the things that I do want to say about that Houston Valiant game was, we even talked about it. We talked about it a little bit, too, on our recap, or our preview on Friday. It was just weird in the sense of, we're like, oh yeah, Houston has a huge map advantage. But we're still going to pick the Valiant. Yeah. And then, Houston had the huge map advantage, and they took advantage of that. Yeah, which it goes to show you, say they squeak into the stage playoffs somehow, because everybody's all bunched up. Yeah. If they get in the stage playoffs and they get that map set, it's going to be hard for teams to beat them. Yeah, including really Boston. Yeah. Because you get on those maps where you can do the Junkrat thing, and Linkser can run Widow. It's a win for Houston. Yeah. And their tracer play is slightly better, but I mean, it's not on the level where it should be. But the Valiant were just and they looked a little wonky. We'll get into that later on in the week. They looked a little wonky against Florida, too. Yeah. It's their normal, what they do every stage. You're like, there's the Valiant. And then you're like, that's the Valiant we know.
Oh, there's the Valiant again, doing what they do. We don't know what they're doing. Right. Anyway, but Florida took care of Dallas, which Dallas is pretty much the Jay Cutler of the league now. Smoking Dallas Fuel. Right. Oh, God. Dallas Fuel don't give a fuck. We just running whatever we want. And they look like they actually had fun, or were having fun. Seriously.
Don't Care Bear will soon become Don't Care Dolphin. Will soon become Don't Care Fuel.
Wow. They didn't look great by any stretch. They look better, though. But I think it was because I think at this point, they're just resolved the fact of let's just have fun. Yeah. Fuck it. Except for Taimu does that, and then he gets like me, where he's like, I'm having fun. Now I'm not having fun. Right.
I am no longer having fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've played with me. That sounds, this is great. Fuck, I've gotten killed 4 times. Fuck these people. I fucking hate this fucking game. And that's what it sounds like on comms, folks. This video will no longer get monetized, so. Right. So let's move to Thursday, where we had good matches. Yes. Starting off the day with the Gladiators and the Spitfire. Yep. Which,
and hey, what a surprise. A match went to 5, and guess who didn't win the final map?
London.
They were on the cusp of a reverse sweep, and guess what they couldn't get done?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it's the same story every time. They get to Oasis, and they lose their collective minds. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. I mean, they played decently, except for on Blizzard World.
They got curb stomped on Blizzard World.
Yeah, but they even played well on Oasis. Yeah. Which,
But they just can't, they can never finish on that map, and that's the problem. They'll usually get one section of it, but, they can never finish, or just get it done when it really matters. And it doesn't really seem to be, any one specific section of the map that they always win.
Yeah, it's
or
just...
they always lose or whatever. It's just, I think their best part is library.
Yeah. Other than that,
the other two, they just completely fall apart. It just makes no sense to me. I cannot figure it out. Either. And it's not like one specific player is doing bad. It's the whole team.
Yeah.
They just completely fall apart. All the synergy, everything that they have just goes completely out the window when they play that map.
Yeah, and it blows my mind. For a team that's that good. And it's cost them 3 matches in this stage. Right. And they beat the Valiant. Somehow they managed to beat the Valiant. Right. On it. But it's just mind-boggling. I don't understand. At this point, it's in their heads.
Yeah, it has to be.
And you can see the way that they're playing, the way they dive and everything, and when they start getting ults, and the other team starts getting ults built up, there's a panic. Mm-hmm. And it's just mind-blowing. But they almost pulled off a reverse sweep, but the Gladiators are just playing really well, and Fisher has it out for London. I mean, he
really does.
I get it to an extent. You want to, punish the people that let you go or traded you or whatever.
Right.
But he's just been unbelievable and for them. And this is where we see Bishu stepping up a lot.
Yeah.
In this match, which is a tough task against London because they're the Fury and Wuyao. They're two of the best divas in the league.
Absolutely.
And he was doing great against them.
Yeah. I think this was just this was the game that we've been needing to see from the Gladiators, where they come out and they beat a really good team in a clutch situation. This is that game that we've been waiting for. We've talked about it a lot. That they hadn't had a match like this yet. Like up to this point, they haven't had a moment where you're just like, they could win this game and this is a huge game type of thing, like type of situation where they were in like this, where it's like, oh, they're on the cusp of getting reverse swept. What are they going to do to respond? And they responded in the best way that they could, and they won this game solidly.
Yeah, because they've gotten reverse swept a couple of times where you're going.
They start off like they're looking
start off
great.
On fire, and then you're like, okay, where's it going? And it goes south fast.
Right, but they come out of halftime and they just look flat.
Yeah, and
they look kind of flat to start off this one, but they weren't that flat because they made it a game on Ilios. Same with 66 as well. They just couldn't quite finish it there. But at the same time, the fact that they were able to finish it on Oasis, that's a huge step for this team. And
it is.
A huge confidence booster. So I think that they've finally taken that step forward, and if they can build on that, I think they're going to be a really scary team to play.
I think so too, because as far as the standings go, it's them and the Valiant, the Uprising are locked into the playoffs.
Yeah,
stage playoffs.
Dallas and New York are both, or not Dallas. Boston and New York. Sorry,
you got to stop smoking stuff before you come over.
Apparently, right? Stuff. Boston and New York are both pretty much locked into the stage playoffs. And then New York, or the Gladiators are trying to keep themselves in, and then the Valiant are trying to keep themselves in as well.
And basically, everybody's 4-4.
Yeah.
So behind them, and it's crazy. I mean, the Valiant would have to have a catastrophic week to not be in. But the Gladiators lose a match, and you got the Outlaws, the Dynasty, the Shock, and the Fusion. Looking right up at him.
I mean, we'll talk about more. We'll talk about some of this stuff more on our weekly preview. But the Valiant have a really tough week coming up, so there is a possibility that they could fall out.
Yeah.
And the Gladiators have pretty favorable matchups, so that's good for them. So we could kind of see a good mix up there. But let's move on to the second match, or the other matches of the day. There wasn't really too much to talk about with the New York and San Francisco game.
Here's the summary. Jonak, Arc, blah, 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 CBOB. San Francisco did nothing. Sleepy was dead half the match. Move on.
Yep. Pretty much.
Just basically how you would summarize every New York Excelsior match. Jonak killed a bunch of people. Pine did something fucking insane. But anyway, that match was New York being New York. San Francisco didn't look terrible, but they didn't look great either.
No.
But that was mostly New York playing the way they do. It had nothing to do with them.
Right. It was more just New York being the superior team. I don't care how good the people on San Francisco are. Like, New York is basically a team of all-stars. Yeah. Every single guy, if they were to do an all-star game, every single guy would be on that team.
Absolutely.
From New York.
Yeah. And it goes to the team thing. San Francisco has individual great players. New York has great players, and they're a great team-playing team, if that makes any sense at all.
Right.
But let's move on to the next match today, which is a close match. I guess we can call it that.
This is probably one of the most bizarre matches we've seen yet.
If you're trying to sell the league, do not show anyone this fucking match. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Because it was basically, like...
I mean, there's defense and then there's garbage.
Yeah, this was painful to watch.
Yeah, it really was. And even the casters and all those people were just like, what the fuck are we watching?
Right.
The only map that had any kind of compelling good play or anything like that. I mean, there were some good individual plays here and there, but was the Oasis in overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the most bizarre... I mean, we've seen some bizarre stuff on Blizzard World, but the most bizarre choices for heroes and playing Far Mercy and Zen on both teams.
And then just, I mean, the fact that we had 3 games... Like, literally the only reason that Nepal had 2 points is because that's what you absolutely need to win the match.
Yeah.
Like...
It would have been 1-0 if it could have been.
If it had the possibility, it would have been. And it was just like, I mean, yeah, defense, hooray, but this was just like... This was just more inept offense than it was good defense.
Yeah.
Like, that's the weirdest part.
And from these two teams, you expect more offensive, like...
You expected more like a 6-5 versus a 1-0. Like,
on Anubis.
And
if that could have been 0-0, a 0-0 tie, it wouldn't have surprised me the way they were playing. It was just...
It was atrocious.
There was grinded out, and then there was that. But, I mean, no one even really stood out. It was a good match, and it was a very important match that Seoul actually pulled out.
Right.
Because Philadelphia was looking decent. They've been up and down, though, lately, Philadelphia, really.
I feel like some of the guys on Philly are starting to get that burnout.
Yeah, because they're not looking the same as they did. Seoul won. I'm not going to say they look great. They look like Seoul has looked this whole stage.
Yeah.
Which is baffling and weird.
They looked like they were half asleep.
Yeah, and the score shows it.
And so is the audience.
The audience, except for... Everyone was woken up on Blizzard World trying to figure out what they were doing.
Yeah, right.
Did they actually step into a bronze match? And they're going to try and run Fair Mercy on there?
Blizzard World?
Yeah.
Of all of them.
Oh, man.
I mean, to be fair, when we first talked about Blizzard World, that was a possibility that we talked about. I don't know, like, after seeing them first initially play it, I was like, well, we can throw that out the window.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
apparently we couldn't.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean... We didn't take into consideration the Overwatch, the Widowmaker angles that these guys could get on Blizzard World on first point.
Jesus.
Which, running a Pharah is just dumb.
Yeah.
Let's just put it out there, because you're just flying in open sky. Second point you could do stuff with.
Yeah.
Because you have places to hide and
things to hide behind
and
all that. You can kind of shoot. You can get some good angles without exposing yourself too much.
Yeah, but running the whole Far Mercy and then having a Zen on the ground, that's just dumb.
Yeah.
And both teams were really dumb in that. As far as the match, the consequences of the match, it puts Seoul back into the mix.
It does.
Which I didn't think they would be back in the mix. I mean, I like Philadelphia, and so did you in this.
Yeah.
But that makes the middle of that pack very interesting for the week coming up.
It really does.
But, I mean, you really couldn't analyze this match as anything but terrible. I mean...
Right. For a match to go to 5 and it to be as horrible to watch as this was...
It was absolutely boring.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine, like, they're going to take this to 5, these motherfuckers. Like, having to cast this?
Right, these casters just being like, oh my god, we have to go through this slog fest. Like, I'd rather watch Shanghai get their teeth kicked in.
Yeah. At least something entertaining could happen.
Right.
But anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for that match and for our front half of the week preview. Don't forget to join our High Noon Pick'em. We still got the 200 subscription on the table for a prize at the end of Stage 4. And don't forget to hit us up on social media. We have all the links down below. All that good stuff. We will talk to you guys on the next one, where we'll be doing our Friday, Saturday preview, where we will not have a boring match like this one.
Yes.
Even if it is Shanghai getting their teeth kicked in. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
See you guys later.